This is something I'm very passionate about because this is something that I have focused on the most as long as I've been cutting hair. Hey, what do baby? Welcome to the video. I'm Jonty Takaha and these are 4 reasons why your fades suck. Alright, let's get into it. Number 1, messy environments. Barbers, when you're cutting hair and you've been cutting all day or you've been cutting non-stop, you have to make sure that you keep your area, your space clean, your barber station clean. It's very easily to feel very overwhelmed if there's hair everywhere, if your barber station's messy. You can also feel overwhelmed if the music's loud, if there's a lot of people inside where you're cutting or wherever you're cutting. Sweep the floor, make sure the floor's clean, and clean your barber station. A very simple, clean environment allows your brain to focus on the haircut. If a lot's going on, your brain's going to pay attention here, pay attention there, and you're not going to be able to focus on the fade. Number 2, your fades have lines. So this is pretty obvious. This is more on the fade itself. It does tie into the first point a little bit. So this is more on the aesthetic. A reason that you could have lines in your fade is that you could be digging into the head too much. You create lines a lot easier rather than if you were to hold your blade flat or use your corners. Even when you use your corners, don't dig into the head. That's probably one of the biggest ones. And you just might not be fading out the line the best. The easiest option is just not to cut clients with specific hair types that you can't cut. If that's a reason why you have lines in your fades, or you could practice. You could really just focus on practicing and trying to cut more of that specific hair type if that's something that you want to do. Number 3, you're not blending in the sides to the top well enough. So this is more on the overall shape of the haircut that you give and the aesthetic and the overall look of your clients. The human eye likes to point out mistakes and tries to find a mistake naturally. If you're not blending in your sides to the top well enough, it's going to throw off the entire haircut. It ruins the shape and it just doesn't look right. It looks off to the human eye. This doesn't really matter with undercut haircuts so much. If anything, it would probably be maybe just make sure that no hair's sticking out before the long hair. So if you tie the hair up, just make sure there's nothing sticking out. The shape is still symmetrical. And it doesn't look too weird. I'd probably just say that's the only thing with that. Just gotta blend in the sides a bit better. Scissor over comb, clipper over comb, just normal scissor work. Freehand, I'd say freehand's underrated. Especially on your straighter hair types. Freehand's very common with the nappier hair, the curlier hair, but it's very underrated with the straighter hair textures. So I'd say give that a try. And finally, number 4, you do bad lineups. This is something I'm very passionate about because this is something that I have focused on the most as long as I've been cutting hair. Lineups help structure your client's head and your client's face. So you got to know which lineup to do. So not only do you need to know which lineup is best suited to your clients, if you have that creative control. Some clients rather you do the hook, the C cup, and some clients rather not. But if you do have creative control, or you are able to change your client's mind by recommending them something else, knowing which lineup works best can definitely help make your client his most attractive self. And that's just knowing which lineup to do. Then you actually have to do it and execute it. There are secrets that I know which helps give the most aesthetically pleasing lineup, which I'm not gonna disclose here. You can't be pushing your clients back too far. There's nothing wrong with pushing back, but you just can't be overboard with it. So don't push your client back too much. And a lot of the times the angle, or you're not cutting all the hair and it doesn't look as sharp. It just looks weird. Or one side has a box and the other just doesn't. So you need to crack down on that. A good lineup can change an entire haircut. It adds structure. If you're not too confident with your fading capabilities, if you get good at the lineups, you don't need to stress so much, because the lineup brings the entire haircut together, whether it's not the best fade or not. So these were 4 reasons why your fades suck. I'd say every barber has been guilty of these at one stage, myself included. Maybe not so much certain things than others. I hope this has all helped, and thanks for watching. Subscribe, see you in the next one. Peace.